morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about a bunch of secret rares which are coming around in Paradise Dragona. Of course, you know the deal by now. Paradise Dragona, all these cards are going to be in Surging Sparks for us. Starting off with a special illustration rare, Archaludon EX. Cool. And I like the card, but I don't know how to put this into words. Not really very well. But some special illustration rares don't really look like special illustration rares, and this doesn't really look like a special illustration rare. I don't mind the card, but it doesn't look like a special illustration rare, and I can't really explain what I mean by that. It just doesn't. But we got a cool version of Archaludon, and actually, it's a really nice card. It's the one where, on your turn, when you evolve this Pokemon, you can use this ability one time, and you get to search your discard pile for 2 basic Metal Energy and attach them to your Metal Pokemon in any way you like. So it could be 2 onto here, or it could be 2 onto another Pokemon, or 1 onto this, 1 onto another Pokemon, or 1 each onto 2 other Pokemon. Either way is fine. It is basic Metal Energy onto Metal Pokemon. It doesn't let you accelerate other kinds of energy, and it doesn't let you accelerate onto non-metal Pokemon. That is very important, but it's decent energy acceleration. I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm playing this, I only really want to accelerate to myself. If you really want other metal energy acceleration, I still think Metang is the way to go. I think this is just for accelerating to itself. But if you do accelerate to yourself, you do 220 for free energy, and then you got no weakness next turn. So you got 300 HP, no weakness, which of course, playing on the whole dragon thing, and you've paid this in one go. Like, you evolve into it, you attach 2 energy from the discard pile, and then you attach 1 energy from your hand, your attachment for the turn, and that's it. At that point, you're up and rolling. And I actually think this is really good. I think it's a Pokemon that does itself. I don't like it for accelerating to other Pokemon, but I do like this Pokemon. I like it as I'm essentially a single energy Pokemon, hitting 220 with 300 HP and no weakness. That is stats I can get behind. If you, however, you're looking for more of a middle evolution vibe, might I show you this new Vibrava? And I like this one. I actually love the original artwork by T-Zero, artist I'm very fond of, but I think this artwork is stunning. This is one of my favourite illustration rares from the new set. Not my very favourite, but it is one of my favourite illustration rares from the new set, and I just think it's lovely. Now, Vibrava itself is, not great, if I'm honest with you. But it does evolve into Stellar Terra Flygon. As a side note, and I can't say this for certain, but usually, if they only show a pre-evolution, they generally don't have a special illustration rare of the EX. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying it's unlikely. But I do like the EX. Single energy, 130, and you may switch to the bench, but you don't have to. And the fact that you don't have to is actually really, really good here. Being forced into it is kind of annoying. Or free energy, and yeah, it's an awkward energy cost, but it's Terra Pokemon. We've got things like Crispin, we've got things like Sparkling Crystal. So, although the attack cost is annoying, and I ain't going to argue that it's not, because we got stuff like Sparkling Crystal and Crispin, these Stellar Terra Pokemon, they're not as awkward to use as they might otherwise be. But either way, like this one, because you get to do 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. And remember, V does include V-Star and V-Max. So, yeah, that sounds pretty good, frankly. Oh, I should say that the damage from the attack is not affected by weakness, resistance, or any effects on the defending Pokemon. Okay, that's fine by me. I like this a lot. I love the idea of just spreading around a whole bunch of damage. I like this card. And now we got a lovely Vibrava. Don't worry about the fact that most people are going to just rare candy into it and never actually play the middle evolution. Ignore that. And yeah, Pokemon is giving us a lot of middle evolutions lately when no one's playing them. But let's just ignore that. Just look at the pretty artwork. Now, a Pokemon we've not even talked about yet from the set is Cetitan. There's a new Cetitan, and it's got an illustration rare. And it's by Jerky, whose art I very much appreciate. And there's a couple of random Wailmer just swimming around at the bottom, which actually means that this one is very much on my list as well. And we've not yet talked about this card. It's a brand new card. Is it one about which we can get rather excited? No. Sorry. It's got an ability that says it takes 30 damage less from attacks and 4 energy 150. I know we've got ways to accelerate water energy. I know we can pay this. I'm not even going to tell you what they are, because 4 energy 150 on a stage 1 is bad. Like the artwork. Big fan of the artwork. Will definitely get one of these for my binder. I collect all the Japanese artwork rares. I am not going to be building around this card unless someone shows me I'm being dumb by not building around this card. But it's not just Pokemon we've got them in shown. We've got some full art supporters as well, including Lisia. Now, we are at the stage, and I told you this when I showed you the full art the other day, when I showed you Drasna. We don't know what the special illustration rares are, and Pokemon do have a habit of showing us full arts without the special illustration rares, so I don't think at this stage we can really guess what the special illustration rares are going to be. Having said that, Lisia got a full suite of merch that I showed you the other day, and is super popular, and is a pretty good card. I feel very confident Lisia is getting a special illustration rare. I cannot say for certain. I could absolutely be wrong here, but I feel very confident Lisia is going to be getting a special illustration rare. And it's going to be the big card in the set, incidentally. It's going to be the #1 card in Paradise Dragona. That's my prediction. As for the card, it's actually a really nice card. You get to gust up one of your opponent's benched basic Pokemon, and then they're confused. Now, sure, you can only gust up basic Pokemon, which is annoying, but there's a lot of basic Pokemon around right now, and when you do, they get confused. And, I mean, this full art is lovely, to be fair. It is one of the better full art artworks, and it just kind of captures Lisia, if that makes any sense. I'm a fan of this card. I do have a habit of pulling just random full arts from Japanese boxes lately. I would quite like it if this was one of them. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be like a random full art EX like they always are. But a man can dream, ladies and gentlemen. A man can dream. Love the artwork. Like the card. And I do think, because we're in an age right now where searching out random one-offs is so easy in so many decks, I do think this will see play as a one-off in a bunch of decks. And that makes me pretty happy. And the last one we got to show you here is full art Drayton. And again, same deal here. I cannot tell you whether it's getting a special illustration rare. We'll have to wait and see. But the fact that it wasn't shown off today doesn't actually tell us anything, because Pokemon tend to show the full arts first. And this is the one whereby you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you grab yourself a Pokemon and a trainer from those top 7 cards, put them in your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Going to be a monster in pre-releases. In Standard, it's not a bad card, but I think it's a little bit too uncertain. I have worries as to whether this is going to be a good card in like the Standard format. I think it's going to be beast in pre-releases, probably decent in Standard, but nothing terribly special. I think Lisia is going to prove to be the better card, but as always, time will tell. One thing I am legit a little bit salty about is that we had Drayton sleeves shown off. And the Drayton sleeves show Drayton sitting there chilling with an Archaludon and a Haxorus. Well, I showed you Archaludon earlier. There's no Haxorus in the set. It's just not there. And when we get the merch for the set, and this is a Paradise Dragona merch, it always matches the cards in the set. And I know they're Drayton sleeves and we're getting a Drayton in the set, so it totally counts, but no! I'm genuinely a little bit annoyed about the fact that they show Haxorus on these sleeves, and yet there's no Haxorus in the set. And if you want to add insult to injury, the Alolan Executor sleeves had an Axeon as well. And we still don't get a Haxorus in the set. There were actually a few Pokemon, Dreepy and Diplin, shown off on the Alolan Executor sleeves that didn't actually make their way into the set. But the fact that we've got an Axeon on one set of sleeves and a really obvious Haxorus on another and still didn't get one in the set makes me sad. Never mind. For me, I really, really love this Vibrava, and I'm a big fan of the Lisia artwork. But I think for most people, it's going to be the Lisia. And I want to know what you think about the Archaludon. I'm not convinced. Are you? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Eric Ridgway, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout-out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.